right, it's time for another 5-minute Powers play. Coach Powers is with me with Arizona State Hockey. And Coach, I know it wasn't the weekend that you wanted, but to bye week now, you're moving on. I know you take one game at a time, but let's review last weekend and tell me what the positives were out of a trip to Cornell.
Friday, it was a bad combination. Cornell, according to a lot of people with that program, played as well as they could have. Right. And they're already a very good team, very tough place to play. And our guys just didn't show up. We allowed ourselves to get outworked and outplayed almost in every facet, and it was one of those nights that just didn't go our way. And literally every which way you can measure. So we hit the reset button. Over the course of Saturday, I felt like our guys played pretty well. I thought we for the greater course of the game, did what we needed to do to give ourselves a chance to win in a really tough environment. It just didn't go our way. A little bit of a slow start, but over the course of the last two periods, I felt like we were the better team and could have won the game. So, again, it was the first time all year, I think, collectively, that our group of freshmen that we've depended on so heavily looked like freshmen collectively. Yeah. They got a little bit overwhelmed by a big, old, fast, hard, heavy team and a little bit swallowed up. And it took them 4 periods to adjust. And once they adjusted, they were great. So they have to parlay that adjustment into next Friday against BU, and I think they will.
You know, I was looking at the Clarkson loss and the Cornell loss. I don't know if they're similar or not, but two similar style teams that look like big, physical, take the play to you type of thing. You guys are evolving into a little bit more skilled team this year, but 2 years ago you were that big physical team that did that to other teams, weren't you?
Well, we tried to be. We weren't nearly as good as those guys, but that's ECAC hockey. Those teams play hard and fast, and they're physical. That's how that conference is built, and it's a really, really good league. I think it's massively underrated. If you don't show up ready to play against ECAC teams, like you're not gonna have success. And teams like Clarkson and Cornell, if your compete and your energy isn't where it needs to be, they take your will from you, and that's how they're built, and that's what they do so well. That's why they've had so much success over the years, and so we knew that going in, and unfortunately we didn't get the result we wanted.
So this week you're on the bye week. I know you spent most of your time up in Toronto, but you're back now. The guys are on the ice. It looked like a pretty spirited practice today. What did you think?
It was great. The guys' energy is tremendous. Their spirits are up. We got an unbelievable group of kids, and 2 losses isn't going to define this team. It hasn't all year. It's the 3rd time we've been swept. We bounce back after we lose. It's the 3rd time all year we've lost on Saturday. We're in a great position. It's just refocusing a young team that hasn't been in this position before, and making them understand that we're in this position because of one thing. We've only focused on just what's right in front of us. We don't focus on what's behind us. We don't focus on anything beyond next Friday against BU. We want to rest and recover and have some fun and work hard this week, which we have. We'll have another spirited, fun practice tomorrow, and then these guys will get the weekend off, maybe a workout mixed in, and then off to BU we go, and that's our only focus.
So we look down the schedule right now. You got 8 games left in the regular season. You got a couple of bye weeks in there, which are always nice this time of year, I'm guessing, just to keep everybody fresh. But what's your plans for BU? You go out there, are you going to stay for RIT, or are you coming back and flying back out to RIT?
We're going to come back and make sure they get a couple days of class in. We got really good flights set up. And when you go in on a Wednesday and you have a program that can afford to do that, travel is not an excuse. Not being fresh is not an excuse. When you can go into a location on the East Coast and travel on Wednesday, recover on Thursday, get a good practice in with pace, adjusting to that ice and that building. There's no excuses. We take all the excuses off the table here, and it's embedded in our culture. No excuses ever. And the fact that we got to travel back to BU and RIT will not be an excuse internally at all.
I know you don't want to talk about anything other than what's right ahead of you, but the surroundings now with your program growing, obviously there's more eyes on you than ever before. The nominations just came out for for fan voting in the Hobie, and I know that you're happy to have two guys there for the program and for them, but just tell me a little bit about what that's meant to your program and just how fast you built this.
Well, I mean, internally, people that have been in and around our program for the last, 4 years, nobody's surprised by this. Certainly,
Yours truly included.
yeah, we've had lofty goals and expectations from day one. We knew it wasn't going to happen overnight, but when it happened, it would happen. We have an unbelievable group of players that, the guys that have been here are the ones that bought into the vision and into the culture, and have taken care of what they need to away from the rink and off the ice, to still be a part of it. And there's a few that didn't, and they're not here. Yeah. And it's just that cut and dry. And we now have a collective group of players and staff and administration and people that support us that are all on the same page as a cohesive group. We share one common goal, one common vision, and that's making all that a reality. And so it's all the people that we have involved with this program that have put us to where we are. By no means are we content with where we are. It's pushing forward to do more. I think we're barely scratching the surface, and we're having some success. So it's been a fun, wild ride, and we got another fun, wild ride still in front of us.
That's what I was going to ask you. Just how much fun are you having at this point? I mean, you watched this built, from an ACHA national championship to a completely fresh start in NCAA hockey. And are you having fun right now in year 4?
I'm having fun, yeah. I mean, the first few years, there was moments there where it wasn't a lot of fun. But the reward is every day being able to come to a rink. What you work so hard for, it's not necessarily the wins, the losses. It's sending kids on after they leave here, setting them up for success when they leave here with a degree or 2 degrees, and most importantly, working so hard and getting the right mix of people a part of this program where every day you show up here, it's fun. And that's the biggest goal we have, is make sure every day we're together here that's the best part of our day. And genuinely, guys like you that are here for a lot of practices and see that, you see that. Our guys have fun. They love each other. We're here as a game. We want to have fun when we're here. It shouldn't feel like a job to them. It shouldn't feel like a situation that this is a place they don't want to be. And that's why I think it's parlayed into some success on the ice.
All right, let's wrap things up with just quick updates on a couple of things. Anything new to talk about on the arena part of it yet? Are we getting closer to a shovel in the ground or all that good stuff? I know you'd like to see it yesterday, but everything takes time, as we've talked about in the past, and I think people just want to know where we're going and what direction we're headed. I think it's still on track, correct?
It is. I think people are going to be really happy really soon.
You heard it, folks, right there. The other question I wanted to ask you was, you got a group of seniors now that you went out and built this program with that are going to graduate. Well, they've already graduated, some of them, and some of them are getting second degrees and things like that. But how proud of you are those 5 guys that stepped in? And, I'm thinking of a couple of guys that, we know about Cliff, we know about Dylan, we know about the work of Anthony Croston, but a guy like Jack Rowe that made the trip for you last week, and Stridesburg has been in and out of the line. But what do you say about those guys and what they are when you use the phrase build the tradition and be the tradition?
It's everything. Those guys have been incredible teammates all year, especially a kid like Jack Rowe. He hasn't had a shift yet this year. He got into his first game Saturday night, and he's one of the most popular guys in that room. He comes out every day and works hard. If you would have told me at the start of the year that he'd be in this predicament, I would have said no way. It just hasn't gone his way in terms of finding the right opportunity to make that happen. And he gets that. He understands that. Him and Gage Mackey are going to go play in Russia for the World University Games team here in a few weeks. So the ACHA asked if they could have a few of our guys go play, and I said absolutely. So they're going to miss the Minnesota series. So I know Jack's excited about that. What I'm most proud of those 5 guys is that 4 of those 5 players are going to leave here with 2 degrees. And the one that's not going to leave here with 2 degrees only came here, Jacob Stridesburg, with 3 years of eligibility because he played junior hockey after his 21st birthday and wasn't enrolled in school. So he came here with 3 years of eligibility and he graduates in 3 years. So all five of those kids obtain their undergraduate degree in 3 years, and 4 of them are going to get a master's degree, and that's what this is all about. And that character is exactly why, through the growth of this program and bringing in higher caliber players and the growth, that's why those 5 guys stuck. That's why those 5 guys lasted, and that's why they are the epitome of be the tradition, and the proof's in the pudding with those guys.
Coach, I appreciate your time. Good luck next week. We'll talk to you next week, I'm guessing, before you head out to BU. But 8 games left. Take them one at a time and knock them all off.
Thank you.